This morning's poem is written by Bryan Reid, who was a dear friend of mine who died at the end of last year, aged, I think he was about 92 or 3. And it's called Lantana. Bryan Reid was a fine writer and poet and journalist. He had 4 great loves: Samuel Johnson, railway journeys, Irish jokes, and a good single malt whisky. This is Lantana. Proust had his Madeleines. For me, on the brink of memory, it's a crushed lantana leaf. No deep breath needed to shoulder aside 70 years. And I'm hiding in tunnels of twisted stems while the Queensland sun blasts the cool canopy in vain. The herbal drift of last year's leaves carpets the green caves where we'd meet to talk scandalously of teachers, breathlessly of Tom Mix and Randolph Scott, and picture shows we'd never see. At home, Mum is peeling spuds against the uncertain arrival of Dad, fresh from a day of breaking earth and hiding anger. Let's do some yoga. I have a request to have some balancing. Now, I always like to balance with the hands against the wall, which is a little difficult in these walls, so I'll use the back wall. So if you can now find yourselves a wall anywhere, it doesn't have to be very big and we won't be there for long, and just stand facing the wall. And the hands just touching lightly, the feet quite close or a little wider apart, just lifting the heels and feeling the balls of the feet and the toes taking your weight, and the shoulder blades slightly wide, sliding down toward the hips. And a little bit you transfer the weight from one foot to the other, keeping an even tension between the base of the little toes and the base of the big toes until it steadies. And if you feel confident, you release first of all one hand to feel that, and then the other one, and keep your eyes very still and feel a light in your throat, in your navel, and in your knees. And then very slowly, you lower the heels, release the arms, relax the arms, and close the eyes. And feel how that is. Particularly the back, the space behind you. Evenly sinking into the 4 corners of each foot. And then slowly letting the hands fill, as if the hands were being filled with sand. So they slightly stretch out. And you feel just a little pressure of the feet into the floor, both at the heels and the toes. And then release and turn to the left side. So you put your right hand on the wall to steady yourself, and your left foot can come beside the right thigh. And you push it well, and maybe it stays. If it doesn't, just continue to hold it. Then you're looking straight ahead with a light chin, and you slowly take the 2 palms together in front of the chest, or however else you want to do your tree. So you can have the arms above the head. Feeling that foot underneath. balanced with the foot that's pushing into the thigh. Slowly release your left leg. Bend your knees. Take your knuckles to the floor and just hold a moment, looking straight down. And then very slowly you rise and lengthen the spine. And get that same feeling as if the hands are packed with sand, that they can stretch out a little bit, that the feet can press down, as if the floor was soft, like clay, and you are reaching down into it. And for a moment you close your eyes just to feel that. And then you release and you turn to face the other side. So now the right foot is going to be sitting by the left thigh. And again you wait for the balance. The eyes are straight ahead. The hands can either be in front of the chest or above the head. And you feel an even pressure in the 2 feet and the 2 hands. When you release your right leg, you soften the hands, bend the knees and take the fists to the floor. The knees are quite bent and you're just looking straight down. And then you slowly stand up and feel the 4 corners of each foot, the 4 corners of each hand, right into the fingers, thumbs, and the shoulder blades sliding down a bit. Sliding down a bit. So you get the feeling perhaps of feeling a pair of wings behind, with soft feathers against your body. And you grow a little taller. And again, for a moment, you close your eyes. And then release. And now you're going to reach up, spreading the fingers, pressing into the feet, stretching the knees, stretching the elbows, stretching the waist, and then easing a little bit from side to side. Reaching up, ready to yawn. And a great big yawn. Screw up your eyes and yawn. And then very softly release your arms. And as the hands float down, the body seems to grow lighter and softer and clearer until you stand effortlessly. With the hands, if they maybe just touch the legs so you can feel where they should be. And then when you press a little bit into your thighs, then you just take them slightly away so you know they're where you think they are. And you close your eyes. And just to let the body feel the space all around. Then relax your feet. Open your eyes and come down onto your knees. Hands just a little in front, and it's a rocking Getting used to the feeling of pressure against the ankles, the toes, the heels, the hands, the thighs, the shins, the buttocks. And then as you spread open your hands a little bit, try to reach your anus back as if you had this long tail. So you're pushing the hands forward and you're reaching the pelvis back. And the chest is a little bit up. It's quite elegant. You can even look the head if you want to. The face can go a little bit up. And then just bending your elbows, keeping that long spine. Your navel is reaching between your thighs. Your elbows are coming in close. And then the chest rests on the thighs. The head drops. The neck relaxes. The hands release. And you place them beside your feet, palms uppermost. Elbows down, neck relaxed. And then you uncurl. And lift the bottom and reach up the arms again. Spread the fingers, lift the chest, great big yawn. Screwing up your eyes, opening your mouth really wide. And then prayer position, down comes the bottom. Folding back to the child. Rounding, releasing, completely letting go. Completely letting go. And then uncurling. Hands a little bit in front, just in front of the knees. Pressing, stretching, arching, lengthening that spine. You feel a long tail streaming out behind you like the kangaroo. Or maybe the peacock when its tail's on the floor. Then a little bit higher with the face and the elbows bend. And fold. And inhale up. And exhale, bend. And inhale up. And settle. Hands on the knees. Feeling the two sitting bones against your feet and the anus between them. So it's a little triangle between sit bones and anus. And that triangle settles and releases energy which floats up through your spine to meet a corresponding triangle at the crown of the head. And you relax your arms. And relax your mind. And feel that. Then you release. The arms a little bit further in front, curl the toes. Lift the bottom and slowly reach the heels back. Knees are bent, knees are touching together. And then the head's going to look to the knees and you're going to reach with your nose toward your knees. Your knees bend toward your nose reaches toward your knees. And then the knees come down. The hands a little further forward and the left knee by the left thumb. And the left heel under the right hip. And you ease your way down. And arch the back. And curl the toe in back and lift the back knee. And lower the knee and flatten the foot and fold over a little bit. And uncurl and curl the toe behind and reach back the other foot. And a little bit of a dog. Right knee forward. Right heel under left hip. Bottom sinks. Back arches. Toe curls behind, back knee lifts. Knee flattens, foot flattens, elbows bend, rounding over. And again curling the toe and stepping back into the dog. And again the left knee is coming forward. You're settling your pelvis. You're bending your elbows and straightening and softening, bending and straightening, arching and softening, bending and curling the toe behind, back to the downward facing dog. And then your right knee is coming forward to your right thumb, your right heel under your left hip, and again we arch a bit and bend the elbows and come down and push up and arch and bend and round and push up and arch and curl the toe behind and lift the back knee. And then release into the dog. Knees come down, hands toward you, sitting in Virasana, and the knees move wide apart. The hands in front, arch the back. And try coming onto your elbows. Cupping your face with your hands. Lifting your left elbow, tipping to the right, reaching your left arm to the sky. Spreading the fingers like a flag. Settling, elbow coming down. Right elbow lifting, leaning into your left side. Reaching your right arm up to the sky. Spreading the fingers. Long elbow. Bending the elbow to come down. And the arms lengthen in front. And the chest dips, 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 dips. And the head to the floor. And you flop. You relax. You give. You release. You let go. Then lift your head so you can walk your hands towards you. Bring your knees together. Sit a moment. Now this time the hands are coming a little bit closer to you and the fingers in line with the knees. The elbows are going to cling to the thighs. Long arms, and we do another arch. Then the elbows slide down to the hips. And the navel reaches into the thighs. And the neck relaxes and the head hangs. And the elbows hug you. You hug with your elbows. And reach your face into between your knees. So we inhale, straightening up, looking up. Exhale, melting over, elbows in, neck relaxed. Inhale, lengthening. Spreading fingers, arching. Exhale, rounding, hanging. Then lifting the bottom, curling the toes, straightening the legs. Pushing into the hands, coming onto the very tips of the toes, one knee on one elbow and the other knee on the other elbow to hold in the frog. Then release, toes to the floor, knees to the floor, feet flat, head lifts a little bit, bottom back, left hand underneath in one fist, right hand on top, forehead on top again. Then you slowly uncurl with your eyes closed. You have these two fists, left and right. You open the hands. Place one upturned upon the other, upturned. Thumbs just touching, the tips of the thumbs, you can have a look. And then you sit a moment, feeling the whole body fill with warm sand. From the top of the head, it smooths down to fill the legs, the pelvis, the waist, the chest, the arms, the forearms, elbows, wrists, hands, thumbs, fingers, neck, right up to the crown. Like a beautiful sand castle, immaculately sculptured. You could even put a little candle on the top. And release. Take your bottom a little bit to the left so your legs come out in front. You lie on your back. Just for a moment, palms to the ceiling, you let go. You let go. Imagine you're a waterbed. The skin is pliant but strong. And the breath inside can move the water anywhere it wants to go. So you can take your water, using your breath, down into the legs, down into the arms, into the face and the throat and the shoulders and the buttocks and the belly, the whole body. And then bend your knees and again feel that long tail reaching down, and the left foot's going to just lift up and stay there, and you push just down a little bit into your right foot, letting that float. And lower and reverse, so the right foot lifts, push a little bit into the left one, letting the right foot float. Letting the breath breathe lightly. And swap left. And hold. And swap and right. And release, and relax. And your left ankle in front of your right knee. You lift your right foot and slide your hands around your right knee. adjusting the position of this left leg so it's as comfortable as it can be, and then you just relax. And bend your elbows and relax both feet. Relax both knees. Relax both hips, both buttocks, both eyes, both ears, both armpits. Maybe a little tighter you can squeeze. See how it feels. And then lower your right foot, and the left hand holds onto the side of the left foot to take the left knee down beside you, with the left foot pointing straight up. And the right arm can be above the head or out from the shoulder. And now if you want to, you can straighten that left leg. As much as it wants to straighten today. Then bend it again and replace it. Arms now can be above the head. And maybe a little bit of a lift. Lower, peel down. And now it's the right side of the outside of the ankle in front of the left knee, and you're going to hold around the left knee with the two hands. Drop the head to the floor, and then adjust the position of that right ankle and foot and knee so it's comfortable, or as comfortable as it can be today. And then you relax both feet, both ankles, both knees, both hips, both buttocks, both cheeks, both armpits, and a little squeeze. You don't attack your body, you coax it. You woo it. You inspire it. And then you can release your left foot, and the right hand is going to hold onto the side of the right foot, and you push the right knee down beside you. Left arm can be above the head or out from the shoulder. Take your time. Notice the difference between the two sides. And if you want to, you can straighten your right leg a little bit or all the way. And very slowly release. Lift the feet, hold the ankles, arch the back, walk the shoulders, wriggle the elbows, the neck, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the toes. If you want to come into a full bridge at this point, you're very welcome to. Or you can take your hands up under your waist and hold your back if you want to. Then lift the arms without dropping the bottom, and the hands come together and you peel down the back, reaching the navel to the floor, releasing the legs and sitting up. Be careful of the cramping. Bend the elbows and bend the left knee and put the left foot by the right thigh and just turn a little bit to the left. And then we've got a great big pot here, a great big bowl. We're just going to stir the pot. And stir it the other way. And settle. And turn to the left, which is where the bent knee is. Cross with your hand, your right hand onto left knee, left hand goes back. Now we reach up and arch. Flying into the rainbow. Softly down. Turn to the long leg, which is the right one, and just take your navel toward your thigh. Carefully easing down, down, longer, lighter, smoother. Take your time. Then, as you uncurl, the long leg goes beside the short one. So right by left thigh, left arm hugging. So first of all, face that left elbow. So you feel that alignment. Then we turn 90 degrees and feel this alignment with the right hand behind. And the left hand spreading open like the fan. Looking over the right shoulder and looking over the left shoulder and the right shoulder. So release a bit over the left and squeeze a bit over the right and release a bit over the left and squeeze a little bit over the right. Then release, straighten both legs. Sit a moment. Put your arms back. Lengthen your elbows. Push into the floor and lift the hips, reaching the toes forward and arching the back. Lower, release the arms, bend the left knee, bend the right knee, and now we're facing a little bit to the right. Try to make it match. Then we'll stir the pot on this side. And the other way. It's quite thick. Needs a little bit of effort. Come back to the centre. Turn to the bent knee, which this time is the right knee. Left hand on right knee, right arm goes back. And we lift up and arch. Feeling the light coursing through you. Feeling the light shining from you. Then slowly down. And this time we're sliding down the left leg, going very carefully. Don't hurt yourself. You need to feel all the different pockets of tension. Not just the one that hurts the most. And then when you uncurl, you bend your left knee and place it beside your right thigh. And your right elbow hugs and you're facing to the right, nice and long through the spine, spreading the fingers. Then you turn 90 degrees to face that side, the left side. The left hand goes behind, pushes down. You turn to the left. You can put a little fan here with this right hand if you want to. Then you turn to the right, that's releasing a bit. Then you inhale and squeeze to the left. Exhale, soften to the right. Inhale, squeeze to the left. Exhale, soften to the right. Inhale, squeeze to the left. And release both legs. Lying down, arms wide. Let go. Open. Light. Relaxed. Then bend your knees, hold your knees and embrace your knees, lifting your nose up to look at your toes. Then rock yourself up and bring your 2 feet together, holding your toes and rowing the boat from side to side. From side to side. Just checking that little microphone. And now we're going to take the right hand behind, the left hand's crossing to rotate, pushing back to lift you out of the hips. And release, so the left hand can hold the 2 feet. The right hand comes to hold as well. The left hand goes back, push down to lift a little taller out of the sitting bones. Right hand crosses, looking over left shoulder. And back. Interlace around your toes, squeeze tightly, lean back a bit. Then wriggle up, hips forward. Inhale, Exhale, round down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, round down. And release. Now roll back. Take your knees to the floor by your ears. And roll up. Embrace your feet. Lift your chest and reach a little bit forward. And roll back. Knees. Roll up. Together. Forward. Back. Knees. And this time feet together. Stand up. And we'll do one of these stretches again. So you stretch and yawn. And let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Feel the sides of the thighs, spread the hands. Don't stick the chest forward. Don't stick the back, but settle. Make sure you're to the front of your mat. And we lift the arms, inhale. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, bend the knees into the chair. Exhale, fold, forward and down. Inhale into the chair. Exhale, fold, forward and down. Ground your hands. Step your feet back into the downward facing dog. Lift the left leg back. Bring the left knee forward and bring it back. And forward and bring it back. And replace. And take the right leg back and bring it forward. And take it back. And bring it forward. And take it back. And replace. And drop your knees. Soften your feet flat. Leave your bottom off the floor and come up. And the arms reach up and you interlace. Push, reach back. Bottom slowly down. Hands separate and back to the child posture. Relax. Hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, armpits, hips, knees, ankles, feet, toes, buttocks, throat, face, skull, ears. Then the hands forward as you lift the head to reach the arms a little bit further forward so you can come into the up dog like a swan floating in the water. I'm mixing my metaphors here a bit. Drop the knees, bottom goes back, curl under the toes, down dog. Knees drop, feet relax, hips forward, knees lift, arms take the weight, back arches. knees drop, bottom back, curl the toes, lift, stretch, ease, ease, back, 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 back. Right foot between the thumbs. Coming up. Long arms. Arms wide. Turn to the left so your feet are wide. Hands on the hips, push down, lift up. Bottom's going to try and touch the wall behind, chest is going to try and touch the wall in front, feet stable, calves light, and the hands float down to the floor under your shoulders. And then you can bring your arms a bit further forward, but not too much weight. So the feet are taking the weight. So you can crawl your hands forward, but keep the weight back into the heels and soften the neck. So the head hangs between the arms. And then the hands can come toward you. And you interlace behind your head and reach your elbows down, pressing into your feet. Looking toward the belly. Then releasing, hands under the shoulders, walking to the left. So the left knee in front is bent, the right leg is straight behind. You lengthen your arms by your thighs, by your hips, and you hold. Hands to the floor, stepping back into the downward facing dog. Lift your heels and bend your knees. Bend your elbows and slowly lengthen your legs and pulling over your toes to arch into the up dog, pushing into the hands, lifting up the hips, rolling over the toes into the down dog. Putting your right foot between your thumbs and your left knee to the floor. Coming as far forward with that right foot as feels comfortable for you, but this shin in the front should be vertical, so not too far either way. And just once you're there, you need to put a little oil in the joints, get rid of some of the rust. And then we're going to rotate to the right with the left elbow by the right knee, the palms together, the prayer position sitting beside your armpit. You're looking back. And release. Hands in front. Curl the toe behind. Lift the back knee and step back to the dog. Being careful not to scuffle this mat. Stretch your dog. Lift its heels and soften its knees. Forward, front legs bend, over toes, up and back. Right heel a little bit toward left foot between the thumbs, and turn a little bit to the right with the feet parallel. reaching up. Prayer position, bending the elbows, down, push. Arms behind the lower back, interlace. Hang, reach. Try to touch the ceiling or maybe the wall behind you. Releasing. Hands once more under the shoulders. Arch a bit. Rock a bit. Left hand is reaching to right ankle. Right hand is going behind the waist. And you're going to bend the left elbow and reach it to the floor as the right hand touches the inside of the left thigh, and it might be able to hold it. Really spread the feet. And release. Left hand down in front. Right arm down in front. Pause a bit, feel it a bit. Move the feet if you want to. Right hand is going to hold left ankle. Left arm goes behind. You might need to bend the right knee to get hold of that right thigh. You bend your right elbow, look to the left knee, and then look to the ceiling. Release to the front. Pause a moment. Turn to the right. Pivoting on the right heel, drop the left knee down. To lunge on the other side. And again you can rock it. Back and forth. Now we're going to turn to the right, putting the left elbow by the right thigh, the palms together, looking over the right shoulder. I think we did this last time. We better change it. And release. Curl the toe in the back. Step back to the dog. Do another vinyasa if you want to. Knees, elbows, toes, chest, bottom, heels. Left foot forward, right knee down. Turning to the left. Looking back. And release. Curl the toe in the back, step back to the down dog. Stretch your dog. Heels lift, knees soften. Quite close, over the toes, and back. Now last week we did the front warrior. We'll do it this time from the side, so the feet are a little closer. And we'll begin with the right foot forward. So you're facing the front of the mat. That's the little side of the mat. Your hips are looking straight ahead. So the right foot is a little bit right of centre and the left foot is a little bit left of centre. And you bend your right knee and make sure you keep this left hip well forward. So the hips stay front. It restricts the movement a bit. It's not about how far down you go, it's about how well and evenly your hips sit and your shoulders above them. And then we're going to use, this time we'll take the hands with the backs of the hands leading, up, and reaching back. Then softly down, anchoring the legs to lower softly the hands and step back to the dog. Of course, you have to take an extra big step when you go back, otherwise your dog will be too short and you'll break its back. Either rest a moment or move another vinyasa. And then the feet slightly further forward. And this time it's going to be the left foot forward by the left thumb. And the right foot stays a little bit to the right. And your left knee bends and your hips are facing front. So the right hip has to come a bit forward and the arms beside. So if you let the palms face back, make sure you're anchoring that back foot. Don't have the feet too close together. Then the arms are lifting. The spine is lengthening. The hands are reaching a bit back. And softly floating forward with nice strong legs to settle, to drop the head and to return to the down-faced dog, adjusting the position of the two sets of paws so you don't break your back when you do the vinyasa. Then lift the heels and soften the knees. And come forward through the crocodile, over the toes into the up dog, and up and over the toes into the down dog. Now we're going to take the feet a little closer to the hands and bend the knees a bit. And take the armpits to the knees. And then lift the hands, take the bottom down and the palms together. To grip, you grip the hands and grip your knees and your armpits together. So if you want to, you can wobble your bottom a little bit. Now still maintaining that nice squeeze with hands, squeeze with feet, squeeze with armpits and knees. You're going to lift your bottom just by pushing with the arms and straighten up. And you can make the feet parallel and take the hands, the fist onto the top of the head. Then knees, toes a little wider again to come down. And you're in the full squat. The elbows come inside the knees. The palms make a prayer directly in front of the chest. And the bottom relaxes. You breathe into that triangle, the two sit bones and the anus. And you relax that triangle. Then you lower that triangle and release your legs and lie on your back with your knees bent. The knees can fall into each other and the arms just rest beside you. Now make your feet a little wider apart and see if you can find the point of balance so that when you relax your legs don't fall to one side or the other. Just feel that there's a little gap under the waist. And you can push along the spine toward the anos, just a little bit. Keeping soft feet and soft elbows. From here, you lift your bottom and take your hands underneath your bottom and hook your thumbs like so. Bringing your elbows very close together, turning your palms to the floor and sitting on your probably wrists, maybe forearms, maybe hands. Then you straighten the legs and you just pause a moment, feeling the possibility of reaching into your elbows to lift up your chest to roll your bottom toward your fingers. So we lift the head, push into the elbows and roll the bottom forward over the fingers. You then release the thumbs so you don't squash them and wriggle a bit if you need to. So this sits up quite happily. So you're reaching the sternum forward and up and you're reaching the elbows back. Then you can let the neck go. And then to lower, carefully lift the head, lower the back. Release the hands. And I like to take my hands behind my head, interlacing them. And for a moment just rest the head on the cupped palms. And let the elbows open. And relax. And let the elbows open and relax. Let the hands relax. Let the neck relax, the shoulders, the armpits. The whole body. The whole body. And then you can release your hands. Elbows sit comfortably beside, hands are relaxed, they're hanging. And then you just let your arms fall. And if they're really relaxed, they'll probably end up with the palms up. If they don't, you put them up. And now you completely let go. You completely let go. Try to keep your breath very level. So there are no large waves of breath. But the breath moves like the smoothest sea, flowing wave by wave up the sand. And just as smoothly sliding back again. The in-breath is sliding in one direction. The out-breath is sliding in the other. But they're not great, big, fat, full breaths. They're effortlessly subtle and soft and sparkling. And you find that you don't need to rush from inhalation to exhalation. But you can wait patiently for one to dissolve into the other. Inhale becomes exhale. Exhale becomes inhale. Inhale becomes exhale. Exhale becomes inhale. And there is nothing but that. Let it ring. You don't have to answer it. Let it fill the space. All around you. Let it dissolve the space between the inside and the outside of you. And then you can begin to move. See how your body's feeling now. Play a little bit with the fingers and the thumbs and the wrists, touching if you want to, and the elbows and the shoulders. And the knees and the ankles and the feet and the toes and the buttocks and the neck and the waist and the armpits. And ease your way up from where you're resting to sit, either on the knees or with the legs crossed. And if you close your eyes, you can let your spine stretch your back a little bit, so that your head can become weightless. It can almost feel like an umbrella, protecting the rest of the body from the sunlight. Thank you all. Namaste.